Hello, Jays Nation. Welcome back to your go-to channel, the Toronto Blue Jays News Network. Today, we have 3 jam-packed updates about our Blue Army that just came to notice a few hours ago. So if you are a true Jays fan, you do not want to miss these updates. And yes, before we start the video, I request you, if you are new to the channel, then do not forget to like and subscribe so that you can stay in the loop. So let's dive right into our first massive update. Update 1. $131 million star pushed to the brink. Blue Jays rotation drama explodes. Let us kick things off with a massive shift in our pitching strategy down in camp. The Toronto Blue Jays had a top-tier pitching staff entering spring training. But due to the absolute abundance of talented pitchers we have right now, veteran right-hander José Berríos is actually competing for a starting spot. The 30-year-old has won over 100 games in his career. And back in 2021, he joined the Toronto Blue Jays from the Minnesota Twins on a massive 7-year, $131 million contract. However, Toronto's aggressive offseason signings have completely changed the team's pitching strategy and made playing time much harder to come by. The Blue Jays pitching staff improved drastically after spending a lot this winter. Toronto signed former Cy Young Award candidate Dylan Cease to a huge 7-year, $210 million contract, and veteran ace Max Scherzer returned. The team's strong core is already led by Kevin Gausman, a reliable starter in recent years. The team also hopes Shane Bieber will return early in the season after resting his forearms. Add another skilled arm to their team, as young pitchers like Trey Yesavage are also being considered for innings. Because of all this heat, Berríos may actually face competition from Cody Ponce and Eric Lauer just for the final rotation spot. Toronto has needed reliable starting pitchers at the start of the year for years, but this year differs. Now, the group must decide which good pitchers will start the season as backups or in the bullpen. But do not count José out. Although many talented players are competing for the job, Berríos' spring performance demonstrates his ability to anchor a rotation. MajorLeagueBaseball.com reports that Berríos dominated in Toronto's 9-2 Grapefruit League win over the Pittsburgh Pirates on March 6th, where he allowed 2 runs in 4 innings. His 3.38 earned run average in 3 exhibition games boded well for spring training. In his last game, he had better control and a good pitch mix, utilizing his 4-seam fastball, sinker, cutter, changeup, and slurve. He is still incredibly good because he can control his fastball, which helps his other pitches make weak contact and miss swings. Berríos has demonstrated major success with this approach. One of his best seasons was 2024, when he went 16-11 with a 3.60 earned run average in 32 starts. He went 9-5 with a 4.17 earned run average in 31 games last season, though he was not quite as dominant. However, the postseason showed how quickly roles can change for a contender. Remember, Berríos did not start any of Toronto's games leading up to Game 7 of the World Series. This reflects the team's changing expectations and our deepening pitching staff. Because of this, Toronto may change its rotation entirely. The Blue Jays' surplus of starting pitchers has opened the door for potential strategic adjustments early in the season. Teams across baseball have increasingly experimented with 6-man rotations in order to manage workloads and reduce injury risk, particularly for pitchers returning from injuries or long seasons. Toronto's current depth could allow the club to explore a similar approach if it wants to keep multiple arms stretched out. Even if the Blue Jays ultimately stick with a traditional 5-man rotation, the presence of experienced starters like Berríos provides significant insurance if injuries arise during the season. A team that wants to win the championship may have the best pitching depth in the league, making spring training incredibly interesting.
Update 2. Max Scherzer is back and throwing absolute fire. The 41-year-old phenom stuns everyone. Welcome back to the mound, Max Scherzer. That is right, Jays fans. Our 41-year-old future Hall of Famer just made his highly anticipated return to the mound on Saturday in exhibition play. And let me tell you, he did not disappoint. In a thrilling 1-0 victory over the Philadelphia Phillies, Scherzer pitched 4 incredible hitless innings, giving up just 1 walk and striking out 1 batter in his first start of the preseason since re-signing with Toronto earlier in the week. Why is a pitcher with 2 World Series rings and 3 Cy Young Awards, still grinding it out. Because Max Scherzer still wants to win. He signed a deal to join our Blue Jays for another run at a World Series title in 2026, especially after we came so agonizingly close to winning it all last year. As Scherzer himself told reporters, "This team can win." I wanted to be a part of it. Our manager, John Schneider, was clearly thrilled to have his veteran ace back in the mix, jokingly saying, "Good catching up with Gramps," while watching Scherzer throw a bullpen session in Dunedin, Florida. But jokes aside, what Max is doing is historic. Just 15 players have ever played for the Toronto Blue Jays in regular season games at age 40 or older, out of the 964 players to appear since our debut in 1977. He is a true dinosaur of Major League Baseball, alongside other legends like Justin Verlander, who just signed a 1-year deal with the Detroit Tigers at age 43. The bullpen also looked electric following Scherzer's start. Chase Lee, Josh Fleming, Lazaro Estrada, and Connor Seabold all stepped up in relief. Fleming gave up the only 2 Phillies hits, while Estrada snagged the win and Seabold earned the save. The game was won in the 9th inning when Jonathan Clase hit into a force out at second base, bringing Rafael Lantigua home to score. This marks our 2nd straight win after cruising past Pittsburgh 9-2 on Friday, setting us up nicely for the split squad games on Sunday against Baltimore and Detroit. Veteran agent Barry Meister said it best. Father Time might be undefeated, but exceptional players like Max Scherzer are definitely finding a way to delay the defeat.
Update 3. Opening day lineup revealed. Life after Bo Bichette for the Blue Jays. The first game of the 2026 season is almost here, and it is time to start figuring out not just the 40-man roster, but starters and the highly anticipated batting order. The Toronto Blue Jays Redemption Tour will officially kick off on the last Friday of this month, when they take on the Athletics at Rogers Center for their first series of the new season. As the 27th inches closer and closer, management is still actively working out the kinks of what is to come, including exactly who will be on the 40-man roster. At this point, there are still players fighting tooth and nail for a spot, but the starters will look eerily similar to last year, minus our homegrown hero, Bo Bichette. The loss of Bichette, as well as the exciting addition of Kazuma Okamoto, will change the field up a little bit, as well as their batting order. The Blue Jays were well known in 2025 for their deadly bats, particularly the fact that anybody from number 1 through number 9 in the lineup could make a game-changing play off an opposing pitcher. This is something that everyone in the clubhouse was incredibly proud of and will look to mimic in 2026. The problem with how tough each of these batters is means that it is hard to guess who could hit where. However, George Springer and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., barring any unfortunate injuries, will hit first and second regardless of the game. The outfield is absolutely locked and loaded with heavy sluggers, specifically Dalton Varsho and Addison Barger. Varsho's regular season in 2025 was ridiculed with injuries, but despite playing in nearly 90 fewer games than the season offers, Varsho finished with 20 long balls and 55 runs batted in. Had he played the entirety of the year, he would have been at least nominated for a Silver Slugger. Barger had a massive breakout year of his young career with 21 homers and 74 runs batted in, and was even more special in the postseason. He finished our playoff run with a .367 batting average and nearly a .585 slugging percentage. Looking down the lineup,
Okamoto has yet to see a big league pitcher, so it is uncertain where he could land. But one would think manager John Schneider is hoping he builds a lot of confidence before adding pressure to his bat. While the hitting lineup could go on shuffle mode, Andrés Giménez is going to start as the bottom hitter after batting .210 in 2025 and .215 in the playoffs. He had a rough year to say the least, and he will have to work his way up before being given a higher spot. The loss of Bichette is a difficult pill to swallow, but John Schneider and the Jays are feeling less and less worried looking at their roster, on paper anyway. This batting order will change many times throughout the year, but this is a solid place to start our march back to the playoffs. And that is a wrap for today's massive updates, Jays Nation. From the intense rotation battle with José Berríos, to Max Scherzer proving age is just a number, to our brand new look lineup heading into opening day, there is so much to be hyped about for this 2026 season. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Toronto Blue Jays News Network. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please smash that like button. Drop a comment down below with your thoughts on our starting rotation, and make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on so you never miss a single update about our Blue Army. Until next time, let's go Blue Jays.